Why are there so many people defending Yahaya Bello against the EFCC? Does it mean that Yahaya Bello is innocent? Or does it mean that the EFCC is oppressing and harassing Yahaya Bello? If you look at the caliber of persons that are defending Yahaya Bello or attacking EFCC on behalf of Yahaya Bello, you will be tempted to think that Yahaya Bello is innocent, although anybody is innocent until proven guilty. But you would almost be tempted to think that the EFCC is just merely using its powers to oppress or harass Yahaya Bello. Is this the truth? If you look at people like Olisa Agbakuba, you look at people like Liberus Ushoma, Daniel Bwala, these are people that their comments carry weight. And for you to see them come out in the open to attack EFCC on behalf of Yahaya Bello. In fact, you had someone like Olisa Agbakuba saying that he could actually take up a case to defend Yahaya Bello against EFCC. When you see these kind of things happening, you will be tempted to think that it is because the EFCC is oppressing Yahaya Bello or that Yahaya Bello is innocent. But this is far from the truth. It is clear that these people are attacking the EFCC because of certain bias that they have against the EFCC. And that bias is so strong that they are willing to overlook the substance of this matter and they are looking at technicalities. These are the same people that were shouting during the election cases at the tribunal, at the courts, that the court should not look at technicalities, but that the court should look at the substance of the case. The same people now are making a U-turn to now attack EFCC, focusing purely on technicalities and forgetting the substance of the matter. When the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal and the Tribunal ruled the way they ruled during the Peter Obi or Atiku's appeal against Tinubu in the 2023 presidential election, these same people, as well as many other Nigerians, were unanimous. They were united in criticizing the courts for focusing on technicalities rather than on the substance. Yet, these same people now are making a complete 180 degrees U-turn and they are turning on the EFCC based on their sentiments they have against the EFCC. And they are now focusing on technicalities rather than focusing on the substance of the case. That you have so many people, lawyers, CSO, civil society organizations, individuals coming out to defend Yahaya Bello does not mean that Yahaya Bello is innocent. It simply means that these same people, one way or the other, they have something, some axe to grind against the EFCC. And rather than focus on the substance of the matter, they are choosing to focus on technicalities. But I will make a call. The way we called on the courts to focus on the substance of the matter, let us all now also unite to call on EFCC, not EFCC now, to call on these persons defending Yahaya Bello, that they should focus on the substance of the matter, the weighty allegations that have been brought against Yahaya Bello. Let him come out and answer for those allegations. 720,000 US dollars is not beans. That is almost 1 billion naira. 1 billion naira can take care of 1,000 schools at 1 million naira each. 1,000 schools in Kogi. And Kogi does not even have up to 1,000 primary schools. So you can see that that is money that could have gone to taking care and fixing all the primary schools in Kogi that Yahaya Bello is alleged to have used, taken from Kogi state government coffers and used to pay for his child's school fees in advance. It is the substance of these kind of allegations that people like Liberus Ushoma, like Olisa Agbakuba should focus on, not technicalities of whether the EFCC invited Yahaya Bello or did not invite Yahaya Bello when it was obvious the EFCC did through phone call, whether the EFCC is harassing or did not harass. Those are technicalities. Let us focus on the substance. Can Yahaya Bello answer? Is he really innocent? Is Yahaya Bello guilty or not? If he is a lion, like he says, and calls himself a white lion. And he indeed is innocent. The innocent man is as bold as a lion. Why is Yahaya Bello afraid? Why is he getting people to come and be defending him based on technicalities rather than focusing on the substance of the matter? We remain focused. Let Yahaya Bello come and answer. What did he do with the 80 billion naira of Kogi state money? Why did he use state money, Kogi state government money, to pay for $720,000 school fees for his child before leaving office? Why did he do that? These are the questions we should be asking, not technicalities like whether or not Yahaya Bello was invited. So Yahaya Bello is denying that EFCC invited him before EFCC carried out the attempted arrest on him in Abuja. He's denying that he has made this known through his lawyers, saying that the EFCC should provide the written letter of invitation that was signed and received by Yahaya Bello or his agents to prove that the EFCC actually really invited Yahaya Bello. That's what the lawyers are saying. So my question is this: is it that Yahaya Bello or his lawyers think that the only way that the EFCC can invite persons of interest is only through written letters? Is a written letter the only way, the only acceptable way through which the EFCC can invite persons of interest? Look, there are three ways through which the EFCC can invite persons of interest. And if Yahaya Bello doesn't know it, then I'll be very disappointed. Or maybe not so disappointed, because come on, it's Yahaya Bello that we're talking about. There are three ways. The written letter of invitation is only one of it. You have a phone call, which is another acceptable means. You have a text, SMS, whether SMS or WhatsApp message. Those are acceptable means of invitation. As it is with EFCC, so it is with the DSS, so it is with the police. These are acceptable means to contact any person of interest. So, if Yahaya Bello is insisting that the EFCC did not officially invite him, can Yahaya Bello or his lawyers answer this question? The EFCC chairman has come out to say categorically on video that he put a call across to Yahaya Bello. And from what we have seen, a call is an acceptable means of invitation. If Yahaya Bello is still denying that the EFCC did not invite him, can Yahaya Bello come out now, or through his lawyer, since he's afraid to come out or for fear of being arrested? Can he come out through his lawyers to confirm or deny that the EFCC chairman did not call him? Can he do that? And if it is true from what the EFCC chairman said that he indeed put a call across to Yahaya Bello, is that not an acceptable means of invitation? Does Yahaya Bello have the right to reject that kind of invitation because it is not written? Is Yahaya Bello above the law? If Yahaya Bello does not have anything to hide, why didn't he take that form of invitation as acceptable and then go to EFCC, answer whatever questions they have, and if worst case scenario he is detained, maximum 24 hours, 48 hours, 1 week, eventually he will be released? Because that's what happened with every former governors that we have seen that had issues with EFCC. So can Yahaya Bello say effectively that the EFCC did not invite him when it is on record that the EFCC put a call across to him? Let us be very careful what we defend. The EFCC, it's doing its job. I know that many of us have bias against the EFCC. I should have bias against the EFCC. I have gone through an ordeal with the EFCC, my wife and I know how harrowing that experience was. But at the end of the day, I know that the EFCC is only doing its job. Can the EFCC be overreaching sometimes? Of course, the EFCC can be overreaching sometimes. But in the case of Yahaya Bello at hand right now, before we argue that the EFCC did not invite Yahaya Bello, or while we are doing that argument, can we at least focus on the substance of the matter, noting that the EFCC can invite through calls, which the EFCC did? Can we focus on the substance of the matter? The allegations here are that 82 billion naira was laundered from government account. And out of that money, staff of the state house, government house in Kogi, were sent with some of the money to go to Bureau de Change, change the money to dollar, and EFCC says that Yahaya Bello used that money, $720,000 to pay for his child's school fees in advance, because he knows that he was leaving office in a few months. This was in January of 2024. For those of you arguing that, oh, the case that is filed or the charges that were filed against Yahaya Bello were from 2015, it is not true. Take the advice of the EFCC chairman. Go and apply for the CTC of the charges that are brought against Yahaya Bello. You'll see that this charge of laundering $720,000 is part of it. And that was in 2024 January, a few days before the handover of Yahaya Bello to current governor Ododo. Can we look at the substance of the matter? In a state like Kogi that is so poor, in a state like Kogi that civil servants suffered under the hands of Yahaya Bello for 8 years, receiving percentage salary, level 14 officers that are supposed to be earning 100,000 according to the state salary scale, were being made to go home with 20,000, 15,000 because of percentage salary. Sometimes they are given 10%, sometimes they are given 15%, sometimes they are given 20%, maximum 25%. In fact, in some months, the civil servants in Kogi are told by Yahaya Bello that the civil servant should dash him the salary. He doesn't even bother to pay. With all these things that have happened under Yahaya Bello, the suffering and the hardship that Yahaya Bello threw civil servants and the indigenous of Kogi into, with the poverty of Kogi, should we not focus on the substance of this case rather than on technicalities of whether there was an invitation or whether there was no invitation? Let's be careful here how we demonize the EFCC. The EFCC may not do things the way we like it sometimes, but when people have case to answer, they should be made to face and answer for their crimes or alleged crimes, as the case may be. If EFCC had arrested Yahaya Bello, worst case scenario, he stays there for 1 week. If they extend it beyond the normal 24 hours, what has he got to lose? Would he be the first governor to go through it? Did Obiano not go through it? Did Fayose not go through it? So many lawyers that went through it, and so many governors, former governors that went through it. So what's the big deal in Yahaya Bello being arrested? What is the big deal? That we are forgetting the substance of the matter and we are defending rubbish.